Hello everyone, I have two videos here from yesterday showing Ukrainian marine drones in action. I'm going to start with what I think is the most interesting one. So, this short video clip here shows a Ukrainian marine drone hitting a Russian gas tower in the Black Sea. 40 people were reported to be on it at the time, and Russia placed reconnaissance and monitoring equipment on it to monitor the Black Sea area. It's unknown what exactly these monitoring equipments were, whether it was radio communications or radar equipment or what. As you can see in the video clip, the drone caused a pretty big blast when it hit it. Cyberborrow shown on Twitter identified the tower to be this one shown here, which, if we switch to Google Maps, you can see is pretty much halfway between Snake Island and Crimea. There are a lot of oil and gas towers in this region. Ukraine hit one a year or so ago, which was being used by Russia, and then carried out a marine operation to capture another. This is the first time we've seen a marine drone used to take one out. So, let's have a look at our next video. So you may remember a couple of days ago I did a video reporting on the marine drone strike on Crimea. We only had a video of a blast off the coast near Crimea. Well, here, Ukraine has released a video of the attack. At the time, Russia said that all the marine drones were intercepted, but as is often the case, we know that to be not true. This video is a bit tricky to make out as it's weirdly spliced together, and I think a bit of it is out of order. But I'm going to go through some screenshots soon. So this video shows a group of drones attacking shipping near Crimea. Ukraine reports that one tunets-class light patrol boat and 3 other boats were damaged. With the Black Sea Fleet now hiding in Novorossiysk and Sevastopol completely empty, there are slim pickings for the marine drones. Pretty much they're now hunting Russia's scraps. So we can see that attempts are made to intercept the drones with a helicopter. These attempts failed, and a phrase with the words barn door came to mind whilst watching the attempts to intercept the drone in the video. Now in the past a few months ago, we saw that Ukraine had fitted SAM launchers to some of the marine drones, and I don't think we've seen those since then. I wonder if the attempt didn't work, and Ukraine realised the drones couldn't lock onto the helicopters or something like that, so they've scrapped the anti-air drones. Because, again, I don't think we've seen them since, and they would be pretty useful if it's a concept which could work, as you can see this screenshot, a helicopter circling the drones. And if Ukraine could intercept it, well, it would be another helicopter loss for Russia, or at least force the helicopter to go away. Let's move on. This screenshot here shows a marine drone approaching a defensive boom across the water. Russia erected these to stop drones from entering the bays and harbours, and we saw in a video a couple of months ago that Ukraine can just blast their way through them. That looks like what happened here. At least I suppose, in Russia's defence, this does force Ukraine to waste an expensive marine drone destroying one of these, and the blast may also give a warning if the barrier is close to shore or if there's ships in the area. So these aren't entirely useless. They do at least destroy the first drone. Here, a very big plume of water, likely a drone detonating after being hit, as I couldn't see any visible ships here, or maybe a T-72 turret returning to Earth. Here is where the video gets a bit confusing. So, in this brief screenshot here, we see a small speedboat with a fella on top of it cruising past. The fella on the boat doesn't look to be carrying a weapon, and doesn't seem to notice the drone. I wonder if this is just a fisherman or a local sailing past, as the harbour was hit, which we'll look at soon, is used by civilians as well. This one I can't make head or tail of, it's a weird one. So, we have flowing water, which I guess comes from a stream or small river, or maybe a pipe leading into the harbour. Then, a small pier, and then a moving boat. However, the marine drone, strangely, is stationary at the time, so I'm not sure what's occurring here. The best I can think of is the marine drone is waiting in some sort of ambush, plonked itself in a corner, out of the way, in the hope that a military boat goes sailing past it and it can ambush it. Who knows? It could also be that simply the marine drone has got stuck somewhere, and that's why it's now stationary. No idea if a moving boat is a military one or not. It is quite flat. It could be a small landing craft such as a schooner or an ondarcher, or simply a barge. I can't tell. Here, A marine drone lurking near a big, presumably civilian ship. I guess civilian because the drone doesn't attack it. And there's a couple of very small motorboats nearby. The marine drone turns and instead zooms in on a tunets-class fast patrol boat. These have become regular fodder for the marine drones. Oryx, weirdly, only shows one listed, but I've seen a good number of these on various videos hit by marine drones lately. When they hit the ferries with attackums a couple of months ago, they also reported that 2 tunets were caught in the blast as well. So losses of the tunets are quite high. I think the actual tally is around 8, maybe even higher. And here, our last screenshot. A drone recording as a second marine drone is about to hit another tunets. Given the angle of attack differing from the screenshot we just looked at, I think that this is a second tunets. So, it seems to me like Ukraine bagged 2 tunets patrol boats here. Remember, they reported 3 other boats damaged. Here's a photo of the tunets. So, not the biggest fish in the sea, but Russia's Coast Guard uses them as fast patrol craft. So they are important targets. These patrol Crimea's coastline, looking for oncoming marine drones, potential aerial threats, and potential Ukrainian fast boat raids, as we've seen them carry out in the past. This photo here, you can see it's carrying a pair of bicycles. Once Russia's golf carts and motorcycle stockpile starts to dwindle, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see them using bicycles on the front line too. I believe we've also already seen a handful of them on little scooters. 57 tunets were built. The marine drone attack took place here, near the town of Chornomorska, with the drones entering Pansker harbour, which you can see here. This, I believe, was attacked before last year, sinking a Sanath landing craft and a second landing craft whose type I forget. Might be an Ondarcha, I'm not certain. Zoomed out, you can see that this is on Crimea's northwestern coast. So a very good strike by Ukraine here, and another incident which shows that Russia really does struggle to combat these marine drones. They have intercepted some, but it seems most of the attacks which Ukraine carries out using them, some of the marine drones get through. And of course, with the Black Sea Fleet now hiding in Novorossiysk, targets are few and far between. But Ukraine keeps sending the marine drones out and is now picking off Russia's smaller vessels, like the tunets. With the major warships now, I think the only ones that Ukraine can likely hit is either patrol vessels guarding the Crimean bridge, and remember, a Project 22160 was hit near there and sunk by marine drone, so it's definitely possible. But on the western Crimean coast, Ukraine is basically limited to these smaller vessels such as tunets, or possibly any repoos which may be supplying Sevastopol. So that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. Now, before I finish, I'm going to play a video message from Sanath about the ongoing fundraiser with him. Big thanks to everybody who's helped out so far. The donation link is in the description. Thanks so much, and take care, everybody.
Hello Sukhmimers community, my name is Sanath. I'm a volunteer that's been helping the Ukrainian military for the past 2.5 years. I live in Ukraine and have been here for about 10 years. At the start of the war, my good friend Yuri, who was my gym instructor, went to join the military, and I stayed on to help support these guys. We've done lots of work along the way, so thank you for everyone who supported us. We currently have a fundraiser ongoing for an armoured vehicle. Cyclist for an armoured vehicle. It's going really well. We've raised nearly £10,000. We have got £15,000 to go. The vehicle has already been purchased and is now at the garage. It's having a BMW engine installed, and then it will be taken to Ukraine to have the ceramic and Kevlar armaments installed. So with your continued support, we'll be able to bring this project to a successful conclusion. Thank you very much.